Hey everybody, Beth Helvey with Michael Saunders and Company. I wanted to talk to you about the new COVID-19 addendum that the Florida Association of Realtors put out. They put it out a couple days ago and I've been getting a lot of questions about it. So here we go. Basically what this is, it's allowing you to extend certain things in the contract because of the virus. And here's what it allows you to extend. It allows you to extend, hi Dion, the closing date, the financing period, the inspection period, title cure period, feasibility study if you're doing one, hi Jose, the due diligence period, and the association approval if you're doing a condo association or a homeowners association. Hi Charles. So for a lot of you that are in a transaction, the things that hi Melissa, the things that you're going to run into here in Florida, because don't forget, real estate is state to state. This is not going to be national. Your state, if you're not in Florida, is possibly going to be doing something different. Hey, Linda. So your closing date might get extended. And it might get extended for a lot of reasons because everything is slow right now. Your financing period, you may need a little bit more time. Hi, Evelyn. Especially if getting your lender documents and things like that, if you are the person that needs to do some of this stuff in hand, you're not digitally adept or something like that, or you don't have the ability to do a lot of this digital, it may slow you down a little bit. Your inspection period may be slowed down, and here's why. A lot of inspectors are taking extraordinary precautions because they're going into people's homes. So I had an inspection on Friday, and what she did is she called the listing agent to find out, has anybody been sick? Because this property happened to be occupied. Has anybody been sick? They asked the seller to do some preparation for the inspector's entry into the property. And then, of course, he's doing that as well. Because of this, we've got a lot of moving parts going on. It may be that your inspection is not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen, and we may need to extend the inspection period. A couple other things, your homeowners association, your condo association, hey Kim, may be extended, and here's why. Because part of your condo association approval process is an interview. A lot of times these interviews can be done on the phone, but if somebody gets sick, if the person who does the interviews gets sick, or if the person who does the interviews has to go take care of somebody who's sick, or the person who does the interviews is exposed to somebody who's sick, maybe they won't be doing these phone interviews. So we may need a little bit more time to do that. And then, of course, with your loan, we talked about that. Hi, Bill. And some other things. Now, buyer and seller have to agree to these changes. It says it on the addendum. So just because you have your addendum, buyer, does not necessarily mean that your seller will agree. Now, granted, under the circumstances that we're facing now, if you explain to your seller, hey, listen, my inspector can't get out there until X date because we're doing blah, 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 your seller will probably agree to these changes and probably agree to it. But we need to all be reasonable. We need to all consider what is going on here and not take advantage of the situation is basically the important part here. Now, here's something else that's at the bottom of that addendum. Hi, Pam. That is a little different. With your loan approval process, your lender, up until your loan approval, can say, I'm sorry, Mr. Seller. I'm sorry, Ms. Seller. Hi, Gina. I cannot approve your loan because XYZ. And at that point, you can withdraw from your contract and get your escrow back. That's a very simplified version of what's going on. And that's a normal part of the Florida contract, whether you're doing the FAR or the as is, if you're getting a loan. It's a very normal part. So if something pops up between now and the 30 days or whatever you determine that loan approval period was going to be, and your lender cannot give the buyer the loan, hi Amy, the buyer can walk and get their escrow back. Now, if for some reason, this is part of the addendum, your lender cannot give the loan that has something to do with the virus, then you can still get your money back. It may not necessarily be because you buyer or you borrower are unable to get the loan, but if the lender is somehow affected by the virus, you do have a safety net where you can retain your escrow. Hopefully that won't happen. Most lenders I work with and most lenders I know, everything can be done digitally. Hi, Amy. But this is a safety net just in case something happens because we don't know what's going to happen next week. I mean, honestly, we really don't. And this is an unprecedented event for real estate. Now, something else that people have been talking about is force majeure. Force majeure and this addendum are two completely different things. Now, force majeure is an act of God, and that's just the way we put it. And typically it has a lot to do with natural activities. For example, and I want to say it was like winter 2014, if y'all remember, the Northeast got hit with a super, super bad snowstorm. And flights were halted, because of the amount of snow. Flights were halted, FedEx was halted, UPS was halted, and all of that. The reason that came into play is because we have a lot of buyers and sellers who have to sign their documents that don't necessarily live here. I mean, granted, we were fine. We were sunny. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. But the Northeast got snowed in. So the FedEx trucks delivering all of those documents that have to be originals either from the Northeast or to the Northeast so we could get original signatures were delayed. That is when force majeure comes into effect. Now, according to our real estate attorneys here, hi Doreen, our real estate attorneys here in Florida, this COVID-19 virus does not fall under force majeure. It is not a natural activity such as a snowstorm, an earthquake, a hurricane, because, we will use this for hurricanes. This is Florida. That sort of thing. This is a completely different entity, a completely different issue, so it's not going to fall under that force majeure, which they've kind of hacked out last week. That is why we have this addendum. So if you think that you're going to be caught in this situation, where you need to delay something, then this is where this addendum comes into play. And I urge you, let's use this addendum and not just a blank addendum. Okay, let's get it done properly so that everybody's on the same page and we all know what's going on. And that's basically it in a nutshell. That's just a quick little real estate update for you, that if you're in the middle of a transaction, you do have ways to protect yourself, whether you're the buyer or the seller. And of course, if you're both, you want both parties to be protected here, because once that contract runs out, once we get to the closing date, if we can't close on time, it just opens up a big giant can of worms, and this will help you continue with the process. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Greg. And still get to closing while remaining in contract, which is the goal here. So everything may take a little bit longer, but we've got this addendum here in place to help you with that and help you get to the end, help you get to closing so that you can either move on and move out of your house, or you can move into your house, whichever way you're going. Okay. So that is really quick. I hope you all have a great day. It is beautiful here. I checked the weather and I think we're supposed to get warm later this week. If you can get into an area where you can walk around and maintain your social distance, please do so. It's a beautiful day. Wear your sunscreen, drink lots of water. I'll be back, and I'm going to be doing some fun Zoom stuff later, so I'll pop back in this afternoon and let you know what's going on with that. Have a great day, everybody. If you have any questions about this addendum, plunk it in the comments for me. I will also, if you have questions at the addendum or that you think force majeure don't cover, don't rely on me. You need an attorney. That's when you need the attorney. And I'll put an attorney's link in the comments so that you have a real estate attorney you can ask questions of. So if your personal situation is not going to fit here, that's when you need to talk to your real estate attorney and make sure you've got all those T's crossed and I's dotted. And I'll provide one for you if you don't have one. So if you have any questions on this that I can answer, throw it in the comments. If I don't know the answer, I will direct you to somebody who does know the answer. If you have any comments or questions in general, throw them in there. And let me know how you guys are doing. Throw it in the comments. Are you guys hunkering down? If you're not in Florida, how are things where you are? And I would love to hear from you. And I will talk to you later. This is Beth Helvey with Michael Saunders and Company. I hope you have a great day. Bye now.